Okay, fam, can you guys hear me now? I was doing that rambling for nothing. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I don't know what the hell happened to my sound there. I apologize to everybody who was just sitting there and just watching me freaking mime. If you guys can hear me now. Oh man, that's sorry guys. I really apologize for that. We will start over. We'll start fresh and bring it back. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Sorry guys. Um, I don't know what the hell happened. I apologize to everybody. I just, for whatever reason, I was just lip syncing, I guess. So let's do this over. Uh, for those of you waiting patiently and stuck around while this what do you call it, sound fiasco was going on, I apologize again. So let's bring this article up again. Um, Thank you, good sir. I really apologize, everyone. That shit is just like, you know what it is? I had some updates today and I tested it on mine and I could hear them for whatever reason. It didn't click in my studio. So again, I apologize to everybody. So here we are again. Huge victory for voter ID requirements passes in Wisconsin by wide margin. If you guys can see, it passed by 62%. What the fuck happened to voting for the judge, right? Like, where was everybody? You know, so they went in and they hit the switch. Well, we got these stupid Dominion machines. They filled out their paperwork, right, made the little mark, okay, and for the referendum that was on the ballot, okay, but they didn't do anything to support the conservative judge. So what that tells me is I know the MAGA people went out. The diehard conservatives went out because that was 45% of the population in the state of Wisconsin. Hey, Magalorian, how you doing? It's great to see you, brother. Um, you know, it. I don't know what the hell happened. It's just like they forgot what it is that we were fighting, okay, for what we did. So what that tells me is that the 45% of the people that are probably, MAGA in the state of Wisconsin definitely went out and they did their thing. All the other extras that helped us get President Trump elected, okay, because they were tired of the bullshit that was going on in the past 4 years, they all went to sleep, right? The milk toast Republicans that are still, somewhat freaking rhino-ish and whatnot, they just stayed home and didn't come out. So it's not like they didn't know in Wisconsin that this election was coming up. It's not like this wasn't plastered all over social media. So whatever state news was going on in the state of Wisconsin knew that this election was coming up. They just didn't turn out, and that's sad actually. That's sad because it's a split. We got a 50-50 win in Wisconsin last night with the voter ID passing to be placed in their constitution, and it's unreal that this shit happened. But what are you gonna do? You hear us rant on this. You hear me and Red Day, or anybody else who comes on when Conserve Reality's on. We all talk about the same shit all the time about showing up, right? We can't be complacent. We can't sit back. We can't think that just because we won, okay, and last year that all of a sudden everything is hunky dory. It is not. If you don't pay attention to what's going on in your state, in your town, in your village, in your city, okay, what difference is it going to make, right? Like, we can't give the we can't give the people the tools that they need in order to succeed, all right, if we're just sitting back and not doing what we're supposed to as a citizenry. So we can blame what we want on the RNC and stuff like that, but I know for a fact that this election has been broadcasted for quite some time, that this was happening. um people in Wisconsin knew about this. Maybe the RNC should have been active months ago. We'll say that, but again, we can't be constantly relying on the RNC. We saw what Ronna McDonald did, right? When she was in charge, she blew like 3 elections in a row under her guidance as the head of the RNC. We did well last year, right? We did everything. We're fighting. There's still some fights that the RNC is doing right now when in regards to election integrity. But where was the state party in Wisconsin, right? Where were they? They knew that this shit was happening. So where were they? And conserve. You said right on, man. So it's called United for a reason. And if the people cannot unite, if no one is willing to come together when it counts, I feel like there's some poor performance. Sure. However, I look at the money. Sure. Yeah. Definitely money. I, you know, obviously, people need money in order to, what do you call it, in order to run and stuff. Um, yeah. The Dems, okay. Susan Crawford had Soros and Pritzker, two billionaires and a whole bunch of millionaires, dumping money into them, right? Like, again, but we saw we proved last year with money, okay, that money meant shit. Kamala Harris had, a shit ton of money. She wasted it all and she ended up being in debt, right? And we still beat her. So like it's not we can still beat them, but we got to get up and go do what it is that we're supposed to do, right? Should there been more exposure? Conserve, I agree 100%. Some bigger money probably should have went and helped them out. I agree, right? Because like it's not like where are our billionaires? Where the hell is our Bruce Wayne and our Batman, you know, and whatnot, and Oliver Queen and stuff like that? Where the hell are they? Um, yeah, it's uh, Magalorian says MAGA must hammer the grassroots efforts to reach the low propensity voters to these purple states. But we did that, right? We didn't do it this time, obviously, right? You're 100% on this, but we did that last year. So like, I don't know what the hell happened in the state of Wisconsin that we just forgot. Okay, what it is that we did and what we had to do. All right, you know, yes, yeah, yeah. This too. It doesn't help that the Dems had every media organization lying through their teeth, and even after COVID-19, more still believe it's true. But on our side, okay, on our side, we know these things, right? So like we have to do our due diligence, regardless of the fact. We know that the Marxist state media is gonna be they're gonna Marx commies are gonna commie no matter what, right? And there's just no consistency with us. I don't understand what our problem is, right? We bitch, we complain. I'm not gonna blame anybody but us on this one because we it's not like we don't know how to do grassroots shit because we did it. We proved it last year that we got out for like a year straight, just pounding the ground, okay, and just like knocking on doors. We did what it is what we were supposed to do, and they did it in the state of Wisconsin as well. Okay, and all of a sudden that shit just went away. We're only a couple of months removed. How many months? What are we? What 1, 2, 3, 4 months removed? 5 months removed from the election and whatnot. So like it's not like it's like a far. Some time hasn't elapsed so much that all of a sudden we just forgot what it is that we're supposed to do. But Magaloran, you're 100%. If we don't continue to do our grassroots stuff, we're gonna continue. This shit like this is gonna continue to happen. I do. I again. I I would probably agree with this. There was probably some level of yeah, yeah, yeah. There probably was because when they showed like it was like something like 145,000 people when you look at those numbers, and I'll bring those numbers up again for you guys to see. Who's my mathematician? Conserve. Let's go, man. Add that math up, bro. Of how many people actually what's the difference there? Yeah, we got to get it together. They do conserve. They really do, man. They really do. What is that? Essentially, a little bit under 300,000, or a little bit over. Yeah, a little under 300. It's like yeah, a little bit under 300,000 people. Where were those three? Where were those people who voted for voter ID when it came to actually saving their court? That's what I want to know. Like, what did they do? What was their frame of mind? Thank you, conserve. Appreciate it. 290,000. 290,457. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Uh, I don't know, fam. I really don't know. I'm absolutely flabbergasted by what happened because, especially because of how the voter ID amendment thing, the referendum on that passed. So to me, obviously, people were at the polls, but what they were just like, we're gonna just be like a one issue thing going on when we're voting tonight. You know what's at stake, right? You know what's coming. The gerrymandering is coming. I know we talked about this on Friday that yes, they probably could have did that already. I personally think after putting some thought into it, some speculate. This is speculation, fam. I obviously have no proof of this. Okay, that all of last year while they had well when they won last year and they won the majority, they understood. They probably knew what was coming with the resignation because they're liars and they're cheats and they'll hide that shit forever, right? So they probably knew that this was coming. So they didn't move on anything until they can get through an election. You know, yeah, man. It's just 100%, man. This is you're absolutely spot on when we say we need to get our shit together. Stop squishing our nuts during these off presidential. It's man, we're if this is if listen, if this is what's gonna happen, okay, if this is how we're gonna roll, and we're only 5 months removed from the fucking election, okay, 2026 is gonna be a fucking disaster for us. And if the Democrats get control in 2026, the impeachment bullshit is coming again. You know that. They're gonna do that all the shit that fucking stopped Trump from doing all the good stuff, okay, that we want done. All right, it's gonna come to a crashing halt. Not only that, the Republicans that are in power right now need to get fucking bills to his desk. End of case. Period. All right, they just need to get shit to him. All right, so that he can start codifying some of this stuff. You know, yeah, man. You're 100% conservative. Yeah, what difference does it make, man? Me, you, and Scott have said this like ad nauseum to everybody that Trump is just one man, okay? And if he doesn't have the workhorses to get the job done, and he doesn't have the tools to get the job done, how's he going to continue to do things? We don't ever, fam, we don't want our president to be doing shit via executive order, like all the time. That's just like so. That has like been the president for the last like two, almost 3 decades. Everything has been done by executive order, okay? And we rarely get bills. You want the process to actually be where they're actually putting bills on his desk so that we can get our shit codified into law. you know um hey, what's going on, one and only? What's up, Blondie? How are you? uh it's going to be a nightmare, guys, in 2026 if we don't we I still feel we have a chance of doing something spectacular in 2026, but not if we're doing the shit like what we pulled last night in Wisconsin. That's just going to be it's a fucking no-brainer, and we're going to get our asses handed to us if we continue to do stupid shit. you know um it's just fucking retarded how that went down. That shouldn't have went down, like that. So um, well, on the bright side of things, to help us in the House right now at this moment, okay, so that we can maintain our lead, our slim lead that we have, it brings us, I think, up to 220, is Florida represented. They did what they were supposed to do in Florida. All right. The two open seats that were open because of President what do you call it, Trump's picks for his cabinet with Gates, and I think it was Waltz as well. All right. I think that Florida did what they needed to do. Okay. So the Republicans secured decisive victories in Florida special elections. Florida showed up in a resounding affirmation of conservative principles and leadership. Republicans Randy Fine and Jimmy Patronis emerged victorious in Florida's special elections on Tuesday. Trump endorsed Randy Fine, clinched the 6th congressional district, succeeding Mike Waltz, who vacated the position to serve as Trump's national security advisor. And despite being massively outspent, Will raised over 9 million compared to fines. Well, regardless, right? Florida did what it was supposed to do. Okay, Florida showed up. They did exactly what needed to be done. You know, um, yeah, Magallorian, you're 100%. Um, Says these fucking Republicans are infuriating. If this was a precursor to 26, it would be a blood. It is. It's gonna be a bloodbath. We don't do shit right. Um, hey Blondie, how are you, hon? I have been having a good week. Well, as good as possible. Probably better than some. It just still looking for, still grinding, trying to find a job and whatnot. But I'm not under so much stress. I got some things kind of moving right now that started moving for me this week, so hopefully it'll come to fruition pretty soon. But thank you, honey. I appreciate it, Blondie. You're awesome. You're the best. Um, yes, conserve. I agree with you on this. I believe the same shit, same as you, that we should have had a greater majority in the House, but since that kept ballot harvesting at the end, they flipped seats, and this is what I was speaking out against since the jump. Yeah, guys, unless we actually make the efforts to fix elections in our states, like we're not worried about right now. We're not worried about Florida, right? Because Florida is they do their thing. Florida has only gotten redder. The more time goes by, the redder it continues to get. It is no longer a purple state. It hasn't been a purple state for a while, but these last two elections have showed that they're just like Florida is done with the bullshit. They're doing, and every state has their issues that they got to deal with, right? Including Florida, but they showed up. Republicans showed up and did what it is that they were supposed to do in the state of Florida, okay, to make sure that we maintain our majority because that's what it's about. So props to Florida, you know, props. Got to give them props because uh they're doing their thing and whatnot. Floridians they get it right. Um, but I don't know. Speaking of Florida, I posted something on Instagram on my stories about a Florida dude dressed up as Ronald McDonald getting arrested. That's the type of shit that goes down in Florida. I love the state of Florida. Just you never know. Florida man is fucking a real thing. um, Magdalorian says we are on the verge of losing Texas. I don't know. I honestly don't know about that only because I feel like we swung so many blue areas back to the right, especially in Hispanic communities and whatnot, that we did very very well. But listen, Magalorian, we can't just sit back and assume that Texas or any state for that matter, right? That's red is gonna stay red, right? Because I think we always have to be on offense and never on defense. And it's anything is possible, Magalorian. We've been told on more than one occasion that we're going to lose Texas, and we end up it actually when we did a show last year after the election, and it showed that Texas actually went redder. So anything can happen though, man. Anything. So I do think that the sentiment of hey, we should always approach it as we can lose this at any time. We can lose it at any time. So I think that it's okay to have that sentiment. We can't sit back on our laurels because that's what happened in Wisconsin just recently last night. People sat back, they didn't show up. Well, as let me rephrase that. They actually did show up because they took care of the voter ID shit, but for whatever reason they couldn't flip the switch to to put in a conservative judge so that they can flip the Supreme Court and actually because you know that this now that they have because now the liberal court is it's not a okay let's wait and see they got it right. So they're gonna as soon as that voter ID thing comes up and any bills come up for voter ID or any other getting rid of drop boxes, that leftist court they're gonna fight tooth and nail to make sure that illegals could freaking vote and all that other stuff. you know and if you guys have been paying attention, the one of the guys from Doge, he's a CEO of some other company, he was on Fox and whatnot talking about that. He's like, yeah, we found that the illegals, like we've all been saying for months now, right? I did a whole thing last year on how illegals were getting signed up to vote through benefits and whatnot like that, right? So they proved that they were getting social security and stealing our benefits. We were giving it to them. Actually, I can't even say stealing it because the last administration was just giving it to them. So it's not even really stealing because they weren't legitimately stealing it. They were actually just getting it. We were getting robbed from our own administration. Our own government, as usual, is always robbing us of something, right? And then so what they did is they found out, okay, um, they found out that all these social security numbers were given to illegal aliens, especially over the last 4 years. Okay. And with those social security numbers, like we all know, they used that to register to vote in states. And then they went back and they linked it and they found these same people on the voter rolls and they actually did vote. So we've been railing about this, not just me, but like, on our side, we've been talking about this forever. And how it's been going down. I did a video last year, like two videos I think on it, and how the voter fraud was going to happen with through benefits and stuff. So it's really something else. See, Magalorian says the Texas Republic, um, the Texas Republicans are as bad as the ones in the Imperial Capital. The Texas House is infested with econs. Uh, Yeah, no, I know we talked about this, but I knew that this was being done though, because like I said, I did videos early on in the year last year about this shit before you and I talked. But I remember this conversation, conserved that we had about your sister. You're 100%, man. I remember that. Um, when you asked her about that and stuff like that. It was again, but again, we expect that bullshit from California. You know, yeah, I remember you explaining that how your sister was able to vote. It's not that you're so everybody understands. Conserve reality sister is not a legal alien. He's just explaining about how they're not allowed in the state of California to ask for ID because by law it's signed in by Newsom signed that in, right? Am I right on that? Conserve Newsom signed that into law that you couldn't ask for the ID for voting. That he's out here now acting like he's some sort of fucking moderate. Yeah. So fam, it's yeah. Again, Republicans in Florida did their thing, and I'm glad they did it. All right, and in Wisconsin, they shit the bed again. It's just we can't get out of our own way, and that's what's frustrating for those of us, who are trying to get people to be active, in their own communities. It's just it's sad when we look at this stuff because this shit is just still happening, right? And we keep getting upset about it, and we have a right to be upset. It's like, have we not learned our lesson in these states? I guess we haven't. You know, it's crazy shit. But we gotta get it together. Um, we really gotta we really gotta get it together in these swing states. And like Magalorian said earlier, okay, we have to get our ground game better. Grassroots got to get better. Like Conserve Reality is saying right now is election integrity is a real thing, and we have to keep being the mouthpiece and keep letting people know that they have to fight. Obviously, a state like California is lost. The Dems have a super majority in California, and there is just no Republican opposition in that state. And even most of the state Republicans are rhinos. Um, anyway, so like it's they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. The conservatives. Not that conservatives don't exist in California. There are plenty of patriots in California. You know, um, but it's a hard thing. It's just hard to get shit going. It really is hard. Um, hey, I don't know. Have you guys seen this? It was amazing for me to see with Cash Patel, right? Listen, we rant and we rave about, I don't know if you guys, anybody who heard on Friday, Red Day was talking about how, Cash Patel is moving like 1,000 ATF agents over to the FBI, right? But something else has happened too since Cash Patel has, what do you call it, taken over, right? So here we go. This is after struggling for half a decade, the FBI receives record number of agent applications in Cash Patel's first month on the job. So, don't know if that's necessarily a good thing because we know how the FBI gets down or how they have been getting down. It says ever since the pre-pandemic days of Donald J. Trump's first term, the Federal Bureau of Investigations has been facing a manpower shortage that escalated with the heavy politicized work of the agency under the Joe Biden administration from hell. To attract and retain quality human resources became a real challenge as Americans felt no pull towards an ailing FBI that was fully invested in the protection of shady Democrat operators. But now the FBI appears to be on the mend. I don't know if it's necessarily on the mend yet. For me, it's not on. I have to see results. I'm like all of you guys. I have to see with my eyes. Uh, you know, yes, New Scum did sign it into law. Thanks for because I remember you telling me that. Um, and Jonathan, like you said, man, there is really no reason to oppose voter ID. But in regards to the FBI, right now there's still a three-letter mob, in my opinion. We know what they all did in conjunction with DOJ, as part of DOJ, what they did to the J6ers and, uh, the abortion clinic protesters that were just praying and whatnot. So we seen what they're capable of doing when you let them run amok. So if that was part of the issue, that getting better agents in and whatnot, who knows, right? Because there are a lot of career agents in these agencies on the law enforcement side that have been there forever. Most of them that have been there forever are now part of the bureaucracy. They're just like these. Their letterheads is essentially what they are. Um, So I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully the FBI under Cash Patel can make some positive changes, and we can, what do you call it? We can just get some wins, man. We need some wins for the people. Uh, so you know, today was supposed to be day of liberation. I think it was personally between you and I. I don't think everything was like what it should be. Um, the tariff thing was not, I don't know, harsh enough for me. But if anybody understands tariffs better than me, please let me know. Conserv usually pretty good with this shit. If you guys were paying attention today, if listen, everybody works. We all have things that we got to do. Uh, says Trump unleashes 10% baseline tariff on all U.S. trading partners, right? Starting April 5th. He hits the worst offenders with even tougher measures April 9th. And then here's the list of the countries and their corresponding tariffs. Let's just get to the freaking list. We know what's going on. All right. So here we go. Argentina, 10. It's a one-on-one for us with Argentina. Australia, one-on-one. Bangladesh. So discounted reciprocal tariffs. So they're hitting us up with 74%, okay? And we're hitting them up with 37%. So was it at conserved? Can you let me know? Was it at 27% prior to that? Yeah, I noticed that. Most of the tariffs were like at half of what they were, tariffing. They tariff us, right? So Botswana hit. What are we getting from Botswana? It's got to be minerals of some shit, right? 74% again. So we're hitting them up at half. It's Brazil is a one-on-one. Cambodia, 97%. And we get cheap textiles from fucking Cambodia. And we're only hitting them with 49%. That's just insane. Chile, Chile, one for one. China, again, half. It shouldn't be. Like, right? I know I heard him say something about China. He's gonna add like another 20% coming. So we will see. Colombia is a one for one. Costa Rica, they're 7% higher. Um, I can't even pronounce that, fam. I cannot pronounce that. That's like some French shit. Côte d'Ivoire. I don't even know what the fuck that is. D'Ivoire. 41-21. Dominican Republic, one for one. Ecuador is essentially 12-10, around the same. Egypt around the same. El Salvador around the same. The European Union, they hit us with 39% tariffs. We're only hitting them with 20. Um, so everybody was worrying that he was just going to be bombing everybody with these tariffs, and that didn't seem to happen. Guatemala's a one for one. Honduras is a one for one. India, Conserve harps on this a lot. He hates that dude. He hates their president, rightfully so. India, they rake us over the coals with tariffs, and Conserve has spoken about that a couple of times on the show. So like he can't stand them. Indonesia, 64% to 32. Israel 33 to 17, Japan 46 to 24. Again, Jordan, what are we getting from Jordan? 40 to 20. Kazakhstan. Yeah, so it looks like everything is a half here. Like we're at the half mark. What I'm assuming is maybe we were lower than all of these half marks, because like we don't tariff anybody, unfortunately. But it looks like still they're still winning against us. Vietnam hits us with a 90% freaking tariff. They get all their business from us. Most of their business is doing shit for us, right? And they're hitting us with a 90% tariff, and we're hitting them with 46%. The United Kingdom, one for one. UAE, one for one. Turkey, one for one. Tunisia, 55 to 28. Again, I don't know what we're getting. Trinidad and Tobago, don't know what we're getting from there. Thailand, think it's textiles as well, 72. Taiwan, we get our chips and whatnot, 64 to 32. Switzerland, what are we getting? Nestle chocolate, the fuck, 61 to 31. Sri Lanka, 88 to 44. South Korea, yep. Like Jonathan was saying, it just like we just seem to half all of this shit. All right. And I thought he was gonna hit him heavier. So like, again, to me it was like, bro, what are we doing here, man? What are we doing? All right. Says he now increased it. Hang on one second. I'm gonna bring up your comment right now, brother. All right. Says yeah, I know. I understand this that we've always had a low end significant tariffs on trade partners ranging from 5 to 7%. All right, so he did increase. So there was increase. We did increase people, right? So he now increased it as a base rate overall, plus anything specific for negotiation. All right, thanks, man. So this is what Conserve says. He now increased it as a base rate overall, plus anything specific for negotiation. All right, so if we were at 5 and 7% with some of these people, then they did freaking he did raise them. He did hit them pretty hard. So, they've been getting away with this shit for a long time and just taking us to the cleaners and there's just this deficit with these other countries, these trade deficits that we have. Uh that isn't correct. So hopefully with him, turning the wrench a little bit, and turning the faucet on a little bit so that we can raise the level of water. Hopefully, some of these overall things will change and the tariffs will come down from these other nations, because they're gonna feel it. They're gonna feel it. Looks like our partners, our North American partners, we didn't hem them up like we could have. They must have. I think I saw a report that I know the Mexican president said they're not going to do anything, and I think someone in Canada was like, "Yeah, we're just not going to do that." So they must have had discussions, uh, and came running to the table to talk to Trump. So hopefully we get something out of this. We have to fix this. We really should technically be a one for one with everybody to be actual fair trade, but it's not. We're still footing the bill for this shit for trade, and it's not completely, and that's not correct, and we shouldn't continue to have to do that. But I guess he did some. Thanks, Conserve, for elaborating a little bit more uh, on that. Appreciate it, man. Uh, but listen, it we have to get somewhere. And they're looking into I know you guys heard us. We talked about the auto pen things. We kept talking about the auto pen. So the acting U.S. attorney right now is looking into that. So I want to make sure you guys get this. All right. It says acting U.S. attorney for D.C. Ed Martin probes Biden's pardons amid growing auto pen scandal. Acting U.S. attorney for D.C. Ed Martin is probing Joe Biden's pardons amid the growing auto pen scandal. Last month, Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey asked the Justice Department to investigate whether White House staffers exploited Joe Biden's cognitive decline. Of course they did, and issued far left orders at the end of his presidency without his knowledge. I'm pretty sure they did. Um, yeah, pretty sure they did. Because that's what they do, right? Like they prey on people. That's what the left does. They prey on people. So it wouldn't surprise me if they preyed on what do you call it? Uh Conserve says our partners seem to back out of their obligations, so this guarantees a form of payment instead of leaving the American people holding the bag. Yeah, you're right. It does. You're absolutely correct. And I'm thinking that, and it's just speculation that with him increasing the tariffs on these people that have been, you know, fleecing us forever, they're gonna feel it. You know, um, since they know the woman staffer that used the auto pen, she was identified already. Uh, yeah, I know that I think they did that last week, right? They're just looking deeper into it. So I don't know what's gonna come of that. I don't trust shit without government. People should be getting locked up. We talk about it all the time, and people are not getting locked up. That's the problem. If they're doing this shit, and the president, and they're running the country without the president, why aren't people getting perp walks? I don't understand it. I never will. And I understand the frustration that people have with this shit because they're just tired. Americans are tired. We just don't want to see it anymore. Um, I know Conserv will be happy about this one. I'm sure he knows already about it. Uh, but this is a good one too. This happened today. I don't understand why she was even still working there. She should have been gone. Trump administration removes Anthony Fauci's wife and one of his closest cronies from the National Institute of Health. Anthony Fauci is having a terrible day after the Trump administration started cleaning house at the United States Department of Health and Human Services. As the New York Times reported, the Trump administration on Tuesday laid off thousands of federal health workers as part of cuts announced last week. The firings including several senior leaders and government scientists. The bloodbath also included entire units focused on promoting reproductive health, abortion, and gun control. How refreshing that American tax dollars will no longer fund baby killing and Second Amendment restrictions at the agency. Don't understand why they were even doing that. I know they were doing stupid studies on how fucking gun control helps society. It's stupid. Um, it says, as TGP readers may know, the HHS has been conducting mass layoffs across the department, affecting roughly 10,000 full-time jobs, according to NBC News. These cuts are part of HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s plan to drain the swamp and reshape the agency. So, like, I don't even understand how this lady still had a job there. Like, really, seriously, like, she should have had gone immediately. Uh, yeah, I'm with you on this, man. So that is that point. That the point is what's not stated. If they know a staffer did it, it shows by default that Biden was not there to sign it correctly, and it was clearly done without the knowledge of authorization. Uh, Bro, no fucking lies were told in that statement, man. You know, again, why people aren't getting hemmed up, I don't know. But as far as Fauci's wife, I don't understand how she made it this long, still working for the administration. Just makes no sense. Uh, really makes no sense whatsoever. You know, it's no sense whatsoever. I don't know if you guys. I'm sure you guys all know. You know, uh, that we lost Val Kilmer. I think he passed yesterday. I only found out about it this morning. Um, Hang on 1 second. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We do have morons, man. We definitely do have morons, bro. We absolutely have morons. Uh, but guys, we lost. I know you guys already know it already. I actually posted a video on my YouTube. Sorry, my YouTube on my Instagram. Uh, with what do you call it? Val Kilmer. My favorite scene. It's one of my favorite heist and shootout scenes, firefight scenes in a movie. And there've been a whole bunch of great scenes in movies when it comes to war and whatnot, but this was like fantastic. The choreography for this shootout was just amazing, you know. So we'll play a little bit. It is like the blind leading the blind. Conserve, man. It's frustrating, bro. I know you're frustrated. We talk about it. We talk about it like off camera, you know, in our DMs and whatnot and everything. It's very frustrating, man. It's just sad to see. We just want to see some results. You know, I get it. I get it that the machine fucking moves slow, but there is just some things that can be done quickly. But anyway, without further ado, let's watch a little bit of Val Kilmer, you know, tearing some shit up uh, in the movie Heat. This is my favorite scene. And again, we lost Val Kilmer. He brought us Iceman. He brought us the Batman and Batman Forever. Chris Knight in Real Genius, which was a phenomenal movie. Um, you know, yeah. So we're gonna watch this really quick, and we're gonna get into this, and you know, just enjoy what we're watching here. So let's get it. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Um, guys, did you guys hear that? Conserve said my audio went out again. I apologize if my audio went out again. Um, that sucks. Yeah, we could run heat on Discord for a movie night. Scoob, what's going on, brother? Uh, we can do that. Did you guys hear that, or was my audio out? Yeah, Danny Trejo is a legend too, man. Um, wasn't he back? Wasn't he the one who timed him out though in the movie when he backed out of it? Okay, all right. So you heard it. Anybody else had issues with the sound? All right. Yeah. So Val Kilmer, fam. You know, guy was a phenomenal actor. I personally never heard any like nasty Hollywood shit about him. Um, Everything I ever heard about him was that he pretty much kept to himself. I know in his older years, uh, you know, he he uh he had throat cancer, which is why if you guys saw Top Gun 2 in the beginning of the movie, what do you call it? He couldn't really speak and stuff like that. He was having very difficulties saying his lines, so they kept his role very very short. He ended up passing for Top Gun 2, I believe. Not obviously in real life, but in the movie he had passed. Uh, but again, man, he brought us Simon Templar, The Saint, which was also a pretty good movie. Okay. Um, he brought us, like I said, Chris Knight, Real Genius. Um, his name was his name was Chris in this movie too. Sherherless, I think. I can't really pronounce his name uh yeah, correctly. And then who else? Like I said, Batman Forever. Um, he was on the island of Dr. Moreau, so he had his range of acting was incredible. He can do comedy. Oh, Top Secret. He was Nick. Jesus, trying to remember the character he played. I can't remember it was Nick something, the last name for Top Secret, which was in 1985, which is one of his first movies, which was a comedy. All right, so he was able to do comedy because he did yeah Batman. I like Batman Forever. I thought he was a good Batman, but then again, those Batmans were really really pretty good, man. They were was that Timothy Burton did those? Jonathan, was it Timothy Burton who did those Batmans? It was supposed to be based off of the cartoons essentially, because the music was all from the cartoons, like the theme song and stuff like that. So yeah, if someone could freaking correct me on that if they need to, or just give me that information. But yeah, I would definitely do the Saint, and I would do Heat. If you guys want to do a movie night, are you guys signed up on a Discord? We're talking about movie night. In order for us to do this, we need you guys to come on a Discord. Drop it in the one of the chats in our Discord. And say, hey, we want to see Heat, and Jonathan and I will set it up so that we can have a movie night and watch Heat. Just so we can watch a fantastic movie, and remember a fantastic actor in Val Kilmer. So my prayers go out to his family, his children, and to anybody who was in his life, because like I said, I never heard anything specifically about him and how about being part of Hollywood or anything like that. If somebody has that information, about all right, so all right, so the Tim Burton film was the Michael Keaton ones, right? Was it both of them? My memory, guys, I have a shitty memory, so like I know shit and it's in the back of my head, and like I need people like Jonathan and Conserve Reality to pull it out, because I don't lose it. It stays there, but like it's like I must have got dropped on my fucking head when I was a kid. uh, but if you guys do again, if you guys are just joining us tonight, we spoke about Wisconsin, the Supreme Court issue. Yep, Doc Holliday. That's right. I forgot about that. Doc Holliday and Tombstone. Correct. Thank you, Magalorian. We talked about what was going on with the voting in Wisconsin. It was a 50-50 for us on our side because we got the voter ID. Referendum was approved by the people to get added to the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin. Florida represented, okay, the two special elections. Floridians did what they always do, and they came through for us. So we can keep our slim majority without any issues. So that well, There's always issues, but that slim majority stays the way it is. Okay, so Batman Returns and Batman with Tim Burton, but weren't the rest of the movies was supposed to still be along the lines of the Tim Burton universe thing, right? Am I right or wrong on that, Jonathan? Because I feel like the music still stayed that way, like in the theme, even though it wasn't him anymore. So, all right, guys. So do you guys want to do a Val Kilmer, like a couple of movies from Val Kilmer? We can do, like I said, we can do the Heat first because that came up. I played that scene. All right, and then we can do the Saint. The Saint was fantastic, and we can do Tombstone. That's three movie nights, guys, that we can do just to represent for Val Kilmer and show him some love. But again, if you're just joining us, we've had a lot to talk about tonight, fam. If you'd like to support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link at the top of each chats for both Rumble and YouTube. And again, fam, we need you guys to jump in on the Discord so we can have these movie nights. And I'll work it out with Jonathan. So if you guys want to do that, Jonathan, drop the links when you get a chance. Um, and just sign up, fam. It's completely free. It's nothing, I'm not charging you for membership to my Discord. Uh, you have Batman and Heat on your side if you're hosting. Very good, Magallorian. This is why Johnny Tyler, you madcap. Where do you think you're going with that shotgun? uh, yeah, so I think we could do that, fam. We can represent for what do you call it? Val Kilmer. So if you guys want to do that this Saturday, if you guys join up, sign up. Like I said, sign up on the Discord. It's completely free. There's no I don't charge any memberships there. It's also a place where we can continue to talk to one another outside of these shows, and you know we can again let's have this movie night, right? Let's all have this popcorn and eat and whatnot, and do what we do and watch a movie together, and just have fun, right? Let's keep growing this community because that's what it's all about. So anyway, I wanted to just give Val Kilmer some love, being that he passed and whatnot. And again, if anybody has any information other than I that he was part of the Hollywood crowd, please, we're all about truth here. So if there's some shit that we don't know and I don't know, I'm all about hearing it. Um, so what do you think, Magaloran? You think we should do Heat first? What order do you guys want it to be? I want to do Heat first because Heat was literally one of my favorite movies. That the choreography in that fight scene, and we're gonna watch that one more time before we end the night in a little bit here because that's just freaking that was just dope. Yeah, that was just freaking dope. So I want to make sure we Heat. All right, you guys agree it should be Heat? Magalorian, are you signed up on the Discord, brother? All right, so Magalorian says Heat. Who else wants to do Heat, guys? First, Iran. Um, I don't know. Iran is there. The thing with Iran is choking them off financially, like we did last time. The minute we choked them off financially, um, that's when they settled down. Right? They had no money under the last administration to do any of the bullshit that they're doing now, with all their proxy stuff and everything, working on their behalf across the globe and stuff. So it's Iran really doesn't want this smoke. We can turn Iran into a fucking parking lot, if we wanted to. We could have done that a long time ago. We have just chosen not to when it comes to Iran. So, uh, yeah, man, Iran is just the thing. Like I said, the key with Iran is cutting off their money. Once you bottle them in and stuff like that, they simmer down a little bit. Yeah, I know. It does seem like everything is escalating. It does. I agree with you, Scoop. You're absolutely correct, man. It just seems like some shit is always popping off. We still don't have any, There's still no real ceasefire with Ukraine, um, and stuff like that. The EU, some of the EU countries are fucking, what do you call it, posturing and stuff like that, and going to their eastern borders of other countries that are part of NATO and stuff like that. To It's just bullshit, really, because the EU can't do it alone without us to fight Russia, and Russia doesn't want to fight us, despite what everybody, despite Putin is not our friend. Okay, um, he's not. You guys have heard me say this 100 times. He's not our friend. He's and Zelensky, I've always said, is Putin light, right? They both have done the same thing in their countries, so he's not our homie or anything like that. But he doesn't want to fight us either. It would be catastrophic for them. He's getting. Listen, he's having a hard time in Ukraine. I mean, he can continue to conscript people all fucking day, right? And keep that thing in Ukraine going because of the amount of people they have in Russia. But if an actual technical war with the United States, like tacticals, and he doesn't want that shit. They don't want that. So before we go, we are going to watch that scene from Heat one more time and bask in the glory of what was one of the best fucking firefight scenes. The choreography in it was absolutely phenomenal. Okay, and let's just get into it and let's watch it one more time for Val Kilmer before we end the night tonight, fam. And if you haven't signed up in the Discord so we can get this movie night going, if we get enough people, we'll get a movie night this weekend. If not, we'll do it next weekend. But we're gonna be. I'll bring it up again on Friday when Red Day's here with us. All right. So let's because Scoob jumped in. Scoob jumped in. We were like halfway through the video. So let's give it to Scoob for being a ride or die with us on this channel and stuff like that always. So let's let Scoob watch it one more time. Man, that scene always, absolutely always gives me the chills, man. And that scene is actually longer. It's really something like 4 minutes long when Val Kilmer actually comes out of the when Val Kilmer comes out of the bank in the beginning of that scene. He already sees the cops and everything out on the street. So when he comes out, he's got a smile on his face, and he just comes up and he just starts unloading, right? Um, and they get in the car, and they're trying to get out of, they're trying to extricate from the area, and obviously their driver gets murked, and that's when they have to when that shootout start. That part that I played is when they essentially, when they get out of the vehicle, that's when they start fighting like that, right? So the choreography in that scene is, to me, is one of the best, is because for to this day, from what I understand, I don't think it's changed. As far as Hollywood actors, Val Kilmer has the fastest reload on a freaking AR. Okay, from that scene, when we saw him do that reload, he was down, up, he did everything, he racked it. He just did what he was supposed to. Okay, did that tap bang, and just kept going. So whatever they taught him, it resonated with him, and he was able to do that scene. And they were all actually fantastic, including the guys who were playing the cops. But what you have to understand with them, right, in that scene, when you hear them saying "move," okay, and they're moving, it's move to contact. All right, so it's some of the things that they teach us in the military, right, is like when you, especially with smaller teams, if your fire team is in a fucking firefight, and you're somewhat pinned down. One of the things they told us to do is to move. Like you can't stay. You've probably seen it in movies too, right? For instance, Saving Private Ryan. They're like, we got to get off the beach, right? In Normandy, you couldn't stay in one place because the Germans had they had that whole beach, okay, marked with not only with the 88s but with their machine guns. Okay, so you had to keep moving. So what I love about that scene is that they're telling each other to move, right? And it's just like, we learn, we tap each other as we're going by and stuff like that. I mean, tactics have changed from when I was doing it 20 years ago, but some things still remain the same. But that scene, like I said, to me was fantastic because it's just the movement to contact, right? So like they're moving to the cops that are firing on them. You know, it's just, and like one guy moves and the other guy's covering. Um, they of course one guy ended up getting straight off, and that happens sometimes, right? But if you see him at the end of the scene, he's actually crossing the street on the other side. Okay, not because Val Kilmer goes to Robert De Niro's right, and what's his face? God damn it, he died too. Mike, uh, who was that? Jonathan, the other actor in that scene. He ends up getting killed because he got separated from them. He died too, man. I can't. He was in Saving Private Ryan. I can't. Again, my memory's absolute freaking. It sucks sometimes, fam. So I apologize. Um, it's just, again, it's just fantastic. The choreography. The only other time that I saw that, and I've seen tons of movies like that, like in a scene, was actually in Yellowstone, the season 4 finale, where the son, he's in charge of the law enforcement side of things. I don't remember all their names because I didn't see all of Yellowstone. I only caught here and there. But you know what, let me see if I can find that. There's a firefight scene, and that's just, you'll see it, it's absolutely insane. um as long as we're doing this, we might as well do it right because I'm talking about it. um it's 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 an insane scene. And they just do it, including like the cops moving civilians out of the way and stuff like that, and backing up and stuff like that. It's a shootout scene from Yellowstone. Let me see. I gotta see if I can find it. I'm gonna try to find it for you guys because it was an insane scene. It was season 4. I'm gonna put in season 4 because like it keeps coming up because that there was a ton of freaking shootout scenes. I don't want the recap. Damn it. I know they got it. They gotta have it. You see something. See what this is. Okay. I might be able to do this. See, it doesn't really show the whole thing. Yeah, hang on. All right. Let me see. Can I expand this? Oh, that's the best I can do, fam. I can't expand it. You know what? Let me see. Yellowstone shootout. I know you guys know what shootout I'm talking about. The season finale. There we go. I think it was episode 10. Huh. It was just a wild ass shootout that went down. You know what? I can't believe that. I've seen it before. Tom Sizemore. There you go. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Magalorian. Um, yeah, you're right. Four Brothers Scoop did have. So I apologize, fam. I just couldn't find the one. I've seen it before, so I don't know why I'm like having a hard time um finding it. It was really a dope shootout. I wish that. we could, what do you call it, see that fight scene at the end. I see it as a short, but I want you guys to see the whole thing. But anyway, we will do that on another night. I promise I will remember that, and I will find it, and we will do it, and we will cover it, and I'll make sure that you guys get to see it. All right. So that way you guys will, what we'll do is we'll play the Heat. The next time next Wednesday I'll do it when I'm alone again, guys. Um, we'll play the Heat, okay, scene again, and then I'll try to find that Yellowstone scene so you guys can see what I'm talking about. About the choreography was really, really, really good. The movement to contact was just fantastic, and his son, his son was he's I think was a former Ranger, I think, right? He was an Army Ranger or something like that. So like he was moving like one when he was in this shootout. And again, the sheriff deputies and whatnot moving civilians out, and the way they were doing it, and how they're taught in a lot of these police agencies is whoever did the choreography for that fight scene for Yellowstone was fantastic. And we'll look at Four Brothers too, Scoob. I just wrote that down actually. I'm gonna the gunfight too when the hitman pulled up on the mom's house. All right, I'll what do you call it? I'll find that and we will do a, what do you call it, a comparison next Wednesday, fam. All right, that's what we'll do. We'll talk about those fight scenes, uh, just so we can get insight. So, all right, fam, getting ready to lock it up for the night. And just so you guys know and you're aware, we have Frankie Rodriguez with Scott and I this Friday. Next Wednesday, if you guys watch during the day, go to the Real Townley Booze page. Scott and I are going to be on the Wednesday Chin Wag with him next Wednesday at I believe it's 3 p.m. Sorry, yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay. And so if you guys want to remember the real Tommy Booze, he was with us and he had his cat and a rat had to fight and he had to go kill that rat. It's one of the funniest fucking things we've had happen on this show. So it was awesome. Our cousin, our English cousin, we're going to be on his show 3 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday. So make sure you go to his webpage if you want to catch Scott and I. Um, Talking to our cousins over in England and stuff like that because we said we would go see him when we had some time to meet with him. And it just so happened that Red Day, his schedule opened up on Wednesday so that him and I can go together and hang with them. So, next Wednesday night, it'll still be me. And next Wednesday night, we'll go over some news like we do. And then what do you call it? Okay, yeah. Like Jonathan say, he's gonna throw the link in the Discord on Wednesday. Okay, guys, so go to the Discord so that you can see if you guys have the time. I know people work and whatnot, so we're not like the left. We're not out there protesting, fucking Molotov cocktailing Tesla dealerships and whatnot. We work for a living. But next Wednesday, I will find those clips. It's easy to find the Heat clip, but I got to find the Yellowstone one. And then Scoop brought one up. I'll try to find that one too, and we'll do a comparison next Wednesday on those things. So again, Frankie Rodriguez will be with us. She will be with us on Friday. It'll be another Wepa Friday with me, Scott, and Frankie, and then back to regular business with Scott and I Monday. I'll be alone next Wednesday, and then we don't have anybody set up for Friday, but that might change. But yeah, fam. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank Scoob for hanging with us. Magalorian 1776 for becoming ride or die with us. I love it. Um, let's go. We had Rogue Nina was with us. One and only Blondie was with us. Conserve Reality was with us. Want to thank you guys for tuning in and hanging with us. Uh, and we're going to get this movie night together, fam. All right. So just please sign up on the Discord so we can do it. All right. And then if we don't do it this weekend, we'll start next weekend. So if like you guys don't sign up by Friday, I'll check it. I'll check it the next couple of days, and then I will make an announcement on Friday if we're gonna do it this Saturday or not. All right. So without further ado, let you all have a good night. I am the big red one. Look, see, I can't talk. Right, I'm talking ahead of myself. I'm the big red one guy signing out, reminding you that together and only together can we break the machine. God bless you all. God bless America. And I will see you on Friday, fam. Have a good night.